test.
Minute 59 remaining in this NFC Championship game.
Who's I'm for the fool.
All right, I'm muting everybody now.
All right.
Parrots.
What?
How do you talk it if you mute everybody?
I'm the boss, baby.
I hear you. Okay, no talking.
Where's Tzviakov now?
Question.
Start again.
Parrots?
Yes.
What happens if somebody wants to ask a question?
They can unmute themselves, but hopefully they'll get the point and remute themselves.
Okay. Anyways, Daf Tesvav starts with the importance of using the bathroom before davening and washing and cleaning hands before davening, which we said you have to really go out of your way up to 18 minutes to get water to wash your hands for davening. Then the Mishna says the machlokes of Shema is to be read out loud. Machlokes of Shema is not read correctly. Machlokes of Shema can't be read out of order. If a mistake was made in Shema, then you have to go back to the mistake. That's the Mishna. Then the Gemara says, the Gemara goes through the machlokes of Shema, whether you have to have it read out loud. A deaf person, Truma, we had that whole long Gemara about whether it's lechatchila, b'diavad for the Shema to reach your ears or not. And then we said it's three opinions. Either it's lechatchila, but b'diavad you're okay, or it's even allowed lechatchila, or it's not even okay b'diavad. That was Amud Aleph and Amud Beis. Then on Amud Beis we discussed the deaf person reading Megillah, and then a repeat of that Gemara. Then we said other mitzvahs don't have to be said out loud, and then we compared the womb to the grave, and that was a raya that there's going to be krias hamesim. And then we discussed what you're going to write in a mezuzah and the parsha of Saita, and then then we finished off with not combining words in krias Shema. So there's a lot of halacha l'maisa in that last thing with it. You have to, we paskin that you have to read Shema. You don't have to read Shema properly. Now, this you can misunderstand that to think that you can just mispronounce words. That's not true. Okay, you have to pronounce words properly. It's just hold on. Where's my notes? There you go. So basically, so going back to washing your hands, before you daven. So, and also about thinking about a bracha. So the Taz says if it's in the middle of the night, this is a very interesting Taz. If it's in the middle of the night and you're too cold to get out of bed and you want to make a bracha and take a drink, so you can just rub your hand. He just says you don't have to rub your hands on anything, but if your hands are dirty, which they most probably are because it's in the middle of the night, then you could just think about the bracha and then that you would be fine with that. The Mishnah says no reason to do that. Just at least rub your hands on something and then you can make the bracha. This is very negaya to women who are nursing in the middle of the night. They always ask, do they have to get out of bed? Do they have to go wash their hands? Do they have to do that? They don't have to, according to the Taz says they could just think about making a bracha. And the Mishnah says better to wipe your hands, right? But being too cold is enough of a reason that you don't have to get out of bed. Yeah, then benegaya to reading Shema properly. So, oh man, I wrote the Igros Moshe and now I have no recollection what he says. Hold on a second. One other thing, the Mitzanim and Gehenim, right? We said we finished off the Amud, the last Amud. If you read Shema properly, then your Gehenim is going to be cooler. So the Mishnah Berurah brings the Beis Yosef and says, what's the pshat that your Gehenim is going to be cooler? Because if you're going to expend energy in reading Shema properly, so then you're going to get hot, and since you're going to get hot, you're going to take away a little bit of the heat from your Gehenim. That's a pshat in that, right? And Ramosha, right? So now I remember what the Ramosha says. Ramosha says that it's only words that you can't meaning you have a dialect issue, etc., etc. But if the words that you're mispronouncing are going to change the meaning, then that obviously is not going to work. So you have to make sure you put the commas in the right place, which sometimes people make mistakes. So don't think that like diktak b'yisrael means that you're not you just don't have to care and just read Shema. That's not the case. Okay, so that's some of the halacha l'maisa from yesterday. Okay, so now let's start with the Gemara on the bottom line here in Tesla and Beis. Yes, it's a relatively easy daf today. Why do we compare? Rashi learns oyalim as tents. Tosfos learns oyalim as samim. But either way, so why do we compare oyalim to nechalim? Nachal means a river, something that you toivel in. Right? So we see that nechalim are the same as oyalim. Just like a nachal, a stream. You go in there and makes you pure. So too, tents, Rashi says, tents, meaning Beis Medrash, will tilt the person from kaf chayv to kaf schos. Meaning you go to learn in a tent, meaning in a shul or Beis Medrash, then you're going to be purified. Fine. Right? If you read Shema out of order, you're not yotze. Rabbi Amir Rabbi Asi have a katun ganana Rabbi Loza. They were tying up a chuppah for a Chasan for Rabbi Loza. While we're standing around doing this, so then let's go to the Beis Medrash and listen in on something. And let's go see what they have to say over there. So also Ashkechel the Katani Kamed Rav Yochanan, they came and they found the Tana that sat in front of Rav Yochanan. Let's say you read Shema and you made a mistake and you don't know where you're up to. So be'emtza perek yachzal l'rosh. If you're in the middle of a perek of krias Shema, then go back to the beginning of Shema. Right? You had a major space out. Yeah, happens. I'm assuming it happens. Right? So you have no recollection where you're up to. So if you're in the middle of a perek, you got to go back to the beginning. Bein perek leperek yachzal leperek rishon. If you're in between prokims, then you go back to the first perek. Bein ksiva.
What else if you remember a certain word you for sure said it in the second paragraph or something? Can you go back to that word? Let's say you remember you started a hayek and you for sure said im shliach. Can you go back to there?
You said v'haya?
You spaced out.
Right.
But you remember you for sure said in the second
go back
paragraph.
to where you know you for sure said it. Right? Bein ksiva l'ksiva yachzal l'ksiva rishona. Let's say because we have uchsavtam twice in Shema, right? One at the end of a hafta, one at the end of a hayek. So let's say you said uchsavtam amuz. Say 1 second. Did I just say the first paragraph of Shema, or did I just say the second paragraph of Shema? Right. So you go back to the first ksiva. But that's only if you didn't start saying the words leman yiri mechem. Then that's what. Since you started with leman yiri mechem, the assumption is that you were up to the second uchsavtam. Right, so basically, again, if you're not sure which uchsavtam, you have to go back to the first one. But if you remembered after you started saying the words leman yirbu yemechem, then we can assume you were up to the second one. So also they came and they said this. If we would have just come here to heard that, if we would would have just come and heard that thing, it would have been kedai. Dayenu would have been enough to hear this thing. Someone
Is that the song for the daf?
What?
Is that the song for the daf?
I think that would have to be the song. That Dayenu would have to be the song for the daf. I think so. I don't think there's any other song, as far as I remember. Yes, very good ha'ara.
Is that halacha l'maisa?
Yes, that is halacha l'maisa. Yeah, we pass in that way. But some want to bring the raya that it must be that you don't need to have kavanah, because clearly you're not having kavanah, right? Even if you said leman yiri yemechem 1 second, but if you're so spaced out that you couldn't clearly remember, so then that means that you're not necessarily a kavanah, which is the way we pass it. All right? Okay. Zog the Mishna. Ha'omnin karan barosha ilon barosha. For those that are employed, this is an important Mishna.
I thought we don't hold by kavanah anymore. That we don't have kavanah by anything anymore.
Correct, we don't. But in the sugi of kavanah, from here it sounds like you can have kavanah, and that meaning the Gemara doesn't say, "Hey, what happened to your kavanah? You clearly were spaced out." Right.
Right.
The Gemara doesn't have an issue with that. right? So that's all. But yeah, in a Chanam, we paskin that Shema and Baruch Shem. That's it. That's what we said. We paskin like Rava. So then we said, our omnin workers, Karim Barasha Elon, Barasha Didbach, Masha'enu Rishayin Lasses came Betfila. Workers that are on top of a tree or on top of a building and they're doing construction, whatever it is, then they are allowed to read krias Shema. They don't have to come down. But for tefillah, they do have to come down. They're not allowed to read. They're not allowed to daven up there, right? Shemona Esrei. For krias Shema, yes. Shemona Esrei, you know why? Because they're afraid they're going to fall down, and tefillah has to be with the proper kavanah because you're standing in front of Hashem. Meaning, krias Shema is only something that you do to accept yourself al malchus Shemayim. So that you can do on top of a tree, right? But for tefillah, where you have to have fear and you're davening to Hashem, that you can't be focused on anything else, right? Okay, so we'll get. So
Yaakov, what it seems like in the Mishnah, it seems like they're saying even the beginning of krias Shema. Doesn't the beginning of krias Shema need an extra level of kavanah?
No, it needs kavanah. It needs kavanah. It needs kavanah, but it does not.
What does it mean that you could be kayin? So then you should have to go down the tree for the first part of krias Shema.
No, because it's look. You see, Rashi says. You see, Rashi Mashen.
Rashi, that's where I'm coming from.
No,
Rashi says you need kavanah.
Is rachamihi. You need to have rachmanis for tzlusa for davening.
Kavanah.
Right?
What
meaning
about
kavanah? No, but meaning kavanah that you're not gonna be scared that you're falling off the tree. Shema, you could have kavanah that you're accepting adarabah. When you're half falling off a tree, that's the time you say Shema, right? You could have a good fine kavanah that way. But
I think the people that are saying Shema while they're falling off a tree are not having kavanah on the Shema.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know, but I would have a good amount of kavanah at least for Shema on the tree.
I would try not saying Shema on a tree is what I would try not doing.
That's true, but you're stuck on a tree, so you gotta say Shema. It comes to the time, right? Okay, we'll see in the Gemara more. Chasan patur krias Shema. Right in the Mishna, Chasan is patur from krias Shema laila rishayna the first night. Ba'ad Motzei Shabbos and lo yasa ma'isa. If he doesn't consummate the marriage until Motzei Shabbos, he has up until Motzei Shabbos, then he's patur from krias Shema. Yeah. R Gamliel shenasi isha v'kara laila rishayna. And there was a story of Gamliel that he got married, and he did read Shema the first night. Didn't our Rebbe teach us that you're patur from krias Shema? I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to what you guys said, even to me, from me, krias Shema for one night. So obviously he felt that he was able to do it. Okay, we'll get to that also on the base. Workers are allowed to read it on the top of a tree and the top of a building. And they're allowed to daven on top of a olive tree and a fig tree. But other trees, they have to come down and to daven. Why? Because the olive tree and the fig tree, right, are obviously stronger trees and you're not scared. But other trees, you have to come down. But the owner, either way, has to come down to mispal because he doesn't have such yishuv hadas, right? And he doesn't have the shibud. He's his own boss. He can come down, right? Yeah. So you see from here right away that the balabos, since he's his own employer, he doesn't have to worry about wasting money from his employer. If you're employed, you do have to worry about wasting your boss's money. Your boss is paying you to work, not to daven.
What would be an applicable scenario today?
So we're gonna let's finish the whole sugya because there's more, and then we'll get to it. Ramile Rav Mari brother Bashmul Rava Tanan. Umnin Karan Barasha Ilana Barasha Nidvach. The umnin can read on the top of the tree and the top of the building. Amaloi boy kavana. So you see that it doesn't need kavana because you can't have that much kavana on there. Raminu, I'll ask Stira Kar Shema. He does have to have bread. So Akiva, this is sort of your kasha, right? If you read Shema, you need to have kavana Shema Yisrael, Haskes Shema Yisrael, like we saw yesterday. You have to concentrate and listen. Malalam beheskes, Afkan beheskes. So just like over there, it's beheskes. You have to be paid attention to. So here too. Also, Ishtik, so he was quiet. Amarle Midi Shmuel, he was quiet. He says, "No, did you hear any pshat in this?" He asked him a good kasha. He says, "No, do you have a pshat?" Amarle Hachi Amar of Sheshes, who should betelim him alachton, because that's only where they're going to be v'teilen from their malacha, right? That's where that's allowed. Vatanya, that they can be Isaac in the malacha and read it. So like Asha, have a parak rishon, have a parak sheni. One's talking about the first parak, one is talking about the second parak. Right? In the first parak, Shema needs kavanah. The second parak doesn't need kavanah. Right? So Tana Rabbanan, hapoilim shayu oisin malacha etza balabais. If workers that are working for an employer,
the first parak or the first pasuk needs kavanah.
It's so Rashi says it means just Shema, Parsha Shema. I mean, it says Parsha Shema by kavanah, right? Parsha is the first pasuk, and that's it.
Right. That's what we said last night or 2 nights ago, whatever.
Yeah. I think we said both. No. Either way, Tan Rabban, Apoilim workers shayu oisim malacha etza balabais. Karan krias Shema umevarchen lefanei ulachara. They could read krias Shema. They could also say birchas krias Shema. Ba'oichlin piton, and they can eat the bread. And they can make the bracha before eating the bread and afterwards. And they can daven Shemona Esrei. They cannot be the Chasan. And they can't duchen because that already takes too much time, and they have to work. What does it mean they
can't be the Chaz? You have to leave early?
What? Yeah.
They leave early?
Yeah. Sounds like they leave early. There's no duchening and no davening from it. About Tani Me'en Yudches, we learned, remember we had Havinenu, which we haven't discussed. We discussed it a little bit, which is the shortened version of Shemona Esrei. Then we learned the Brisa that you should just do the shortened version because they have to get back to work. Amar Sheish is like Kasha, R Gamliel, or Rabbi Shua. One is Rabbi Gamliel, one is Rabbi Shua. That meaning Rabbi Shua is the one that says that they could. Rabbi Shua always says every day you can just say the shortened version. So that's that Brisa is going according to Rabbi Shua. Rabbi Shua, my area pilot. If you look all of them, Nami. Rabbi Shua says it by everybody. He doesn't just say it by workers. Rabbi Gamliel. They're both talking about Rabbi Gamliel, who says you have to say a full Shemona Esrei. Like Kasha, kan ba'isen b'scharon, kan ba'isen b'sudasan. One is talking about where they do it, where they're getting paid. They're getting actually paid money, and the other Brisa is talking about where they're getting paid. They're only working in order to get food, and that's it. Right. So if they're getting paid for food, then they could daven a full Shemona Esrei. If you're getting paid with cash or whatever, check, just getting paid money, then you have to daven the shortened version. Right? They do not make hamaitzi, and they can only make 2 brachas of Birchas Hamazon. Ketzad bracha rishayna kitikuna. They say the first bracha azanas olam kitikuna the way it's supposed to be. Shniya pesach b'Birchas Haaretz. You start with noida, b'koil and b'nei Yerushalayim b'Birchas Haaretz, and you include b'nei Yerushalayim in it. So because you don't want to take up that much time from your employer. And when does this talking about? When you did it, when you're working for schar. But if you do it working for food, or if the balabais is sitting and eating lunch with you, then you can make the bracha kitikuna. So that's basically that v'hatanya. I read it incorrectly. I read it like it was a question. That v'hatanya is a proof. Benichus Rashi says that price is just proving what we're saying. So basically, what we're saying is if you're employed, you can't just say things. You certainly can't say till him on the job. You certainly can't do anything that's optional. And the reason why you wouldn't be able to make hamaitzi is because the hamaitzi is derabanan. The Birchas Hamazon is the deraisa. So that's basically it. What the Shulchan Aruch paskins is that none of this is negaya nowadays, because nowadays it's accepted by the employers that they know that their workers are going to sometimes daven on the job and bench on the job and make brachas. And even the Achronim say even more than that even if the employer says he doesn't have a choice, because it's accepted business practice that this is what all employees are allowed to do. But if not, then you'd have a problem. Yeah, I think I don't know if we discussed this, but Ramesh has a tshuva about fasting, where he says that if a guy can't fast, and if a guy because he's fasting can't do his work properly, then he pashtus he shouldn't fast, because it's more important to do your work for your employer. It could be possibly geneva than to fast. Now, whether you have to take an off day for the fast day, that's a different story. Yeah, fine. So that's sugya. Chasan patur krias Shema. Tana Rabbanan. This is a repeat of the Gemara that we had. I don't know what was it, a few blot ago. Yeah. So when you're sitting in your house, right? It says you have to read Shema when you're sitting in your house. That comes to exclude Isaac and mitzvah. When you're going on the way, it comes to exclude Chasan. If you're marrying a basula, your father is almana chayiv. If you're marrying a widow, you are chayiv in krias. My mashma. Where is the mashma on these psukim? It has to do with the way. When you travel, usually you're traveling. It's an optional thing. So that's when you read Shema. So here too, by Shema, you have to. It's only when you go for a shus. The Gemara says, "Mila yaskin to gazal dvar mitzvah." Isn't it? Who says that going on the derech is only for the shus? Going on the derech is for two things. It can be for a shus, and it can be if you need to go. So, and that wouldn't be all included in v'lech decha derech. So why shouldn't you have to read Shema if you're going for mitzvah? So the answer is imkain lemakro beleches. The leches baderech, it should say when you're going on the way. My belech decha, what does it mean? You're going? Shema mino beleches didach hu demachayeves. It's only if you're going for your sake that you're chayev. Had the mitzvah patur, but if it's going for a mitzvah which is not for your sake, then you are going to be patur. Like yihi, if that's the case, my area koines is a psula, filu koines is almananami. Anytime you get married is a mitzvah. So then what's the difference that you're marrying a basula or almana? So we say, hachatarid v'achalai tarid. When you're marrying a basula, you're more tarid. When you're marrying an amana, you're less tarid. So then Gemara says, okay, so now if it's just has to do with tirda, with your brain being preoccupied, imisham tirda, afilu tavas v'nasa b'yam. So then if your boat is drowning, right? If your boat is capsizing, then you're nervous. So you should also be patur. Halama amarav abba barzavda amarav.
What do you mean? Or working. Forget about losing.
Or working. Anything that's occupying your mind, right? Allah Amarav Abba Barzavda Amarav Aval Chai B'chol Mitzvahs Amuras B'Torah. And Aval is Chai in all mitzvahs that it says in the Torah. Chutz Min HaTefillin Sharei Never Ben Pe'er. The only thing that he is patur from is tefillin, because tefillin is called beautiful. Shenemer Pe'ercha Chava Shalecha. By Yecheskel, he was told to wear his tefillin. Mashma that every other Aval should not wear his tefillin, at least on the first day. So you see that an Aval, and there's nobody more preoccupied than an Aval, hopefully, right? And he is chayiv in all mitzvahs. So Amri Hasam tirda the rishus, Acha tirda the mitzvah. No, by an Aval, it's a tirda of a rishus, because he doesn't have to be tarid. He just chooses to be emotionally. He's tarid. Hacha tirda the mitzvah, but getting married to a basula, that's a mitzvah. So basically, what the Gemara is coming out is you need two things. It needs to be for a mitzvah. It needs to be for a mitzvah that's a tirda. So the only thing that the Gemara
how do you darshan that from the pasuk?
What?
How do you darshan that from the pasuk though? The pasuk seems to say any mitzvah. It's not mashma from the. If we're darshaning from the pasuk that any time you're Isaac in a mitzvah, you're going to be patur, then who is he to go ahead and make a chiluk between tirda or not?
Right. So the Tosfos, the top Tosfos, seems to be asking what you're asking, right? He's saying, at the time, who toila tam mitzvah. I'm sorry, that's really asking.
Yeah, but Tyson, right? Tyson's not. He's not being matara. He's not really explaining the teretz then.
Correct. He's not. So the Gemara is obviously learning that the pshat in the pasuk is that your Isaac and mitzvah, your patur in a mitzvah, is because of the tirda. It's not just stam that you're being Isaac in a mitzvah.
But you can't. Then it's very difficult to darshan it that way. It's left to cover that. Something that's for you. There's no more. The whole mashmais is that anything that's for you, the actual drush is that anything's for you, not that it has anything to do with tirda.
Right.
We just added a caveat.
Yeah, no, I hear that. That's a good question. But that's how they decided to darshan it. That's for sure. You ask me why, what gives them the right to say that? I don't know. Yeah, it's a good horror. Yeah, okay, weiter in the Mishna. Yeah, Rochatz Laila Rishon. Now we continue with some other things that R Gamliel did that seemingly were not like the halacha. And this is a big bailout for anybody in Avelis. Rochatz Laila Rishon, Shemesa Ishtoi. The
whole tefillin thing I didn't know the first day. I did that because it was called for me.
Yeah, it was a negate. Rochatz Laila Rishon, right? Shemesa Ishtoi. He took a shower the first night after his wife died. Didn't Rebbe teach us that an aval's asked to wash? He said, I'm not like anybody else. I am an istinus. So since I'm an istinus, I'm allowed to take showers, which we'll see in the Gemara why. Ukshemes Tevi Avdei, when Tevi, his Eved, died, Kibbul of Tanchumen. He accepted on himself, he accepted condolences. Amr Talmid of the Matan Rabbeinu, didn't your teacher Shema Kabbalah Tanchumen al Ha'avadim, that you don't accept condolences just because you lost a slave? Amr Lahem, Ein Tevi Avdi Kishar Kol Avadim. He is not like all other slaves. Kosher Aya, he was a kosher guy, so he was a good man. Then Chasan writes a likras krias Shema Laila Harishan Kaira. The Chasan, if he wants to read krias Shema Laila Rishani, he can, which is the way we paskin nowadays. Not anybody can just take on themselves that they are going to be able to have the ability to concentrate. So that's a machlokes for Shimon Gamliel and Ram Gamliel, whether any Chasan could read krias Shema. Fine. So my time with the Ram Gamliel. Why does Ram Gamliel say, why was he allowed to take a shower? Because of Aninus la'ila derabanan. The Aninus of the night is midrabanan. Dechsiv bar krisa kiyoim mar uvamakam istanis like derabanan. Since we're saying that the Aninus is only derabanan, so therefore we have the ability to say that somebody who's in pain from not showering, is allowed to shower, right? But if it would be deraisa, there would be no heter for an istinus, right? This meaning istinus only works because it's a derabanan, right?
But didn't wasn't his wife already buried? Why is he still in the
It's the first day. That's what
it's no matter what.
First day, yeah. Fine. An interesting story here. You don't do the shura right after the kvura. Everybody makes a row and they walk through. So for an eved and a shivcha, you don't do this. You don't make the bracha of avelim, and you don't say hamakim either. Maisa shivchasa Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer's shivcha died. Nichnasu talmid of the nachamay, and his talmidim came in to console him. Since he saw them coming, he went upstairs. They chased him after. They went after him. Nichnas lan pilon. He went into like the outer room. Nichnasu acharav. They came after him. Nichnas latraklin. And then he went into the palace or whatever, the big house. Nichnasu acharav. They chased him in after that. Amr lahem kimedumani shatam nichnu v'paishim. I thought that you guys would get burned with warm water. Achshav iatam nichnu mafilu b'chamicham. You guys not even getting burned with hot water. I mean, you guys don't get the message. I tried to give you a small hint by hiding upstairs. You didn't get it, and you keep chasing me. So obviously, you guys are just not getting what I'm saying, right? So, like Hafshanisulham, didn't I not teach you avodim shvachas ein amdon b'shura, vein amrim aleim birchas avelim v'loitan chumi avelim? So you're not supposed to accept condolences. So why you keep chasing me to give me condolences? So what do you say on them? The same thing you tell a person when he loses his animals. On his animals that die. That you tell the person that the makam, meaning the devotion, should fill your loss. Hashem should fill up your chasan. Basically, what he's saying is that an eved and a shivcha are just the same to you as any other animal. Tani ido chavadim shvachas ein maspid noisan. We had another brisa that avadim shvachas you don't make a hesped on them. Rabbi Yossi im eved kosher who Amar Olav hay ish toiv v'nenem yagia. If he's a ish kosher, so what do you say on him? He's a good man and he's a believed man and he benefited from his work. Amar Olav kain ma. If that's a fine hesped, what are you leaving for kosher people? Right? If that's a hesped you're saying on an eved, so then what what better things can you say than that? What do you want to say?
These are
not Jewish. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Ein karen avos el l'shloisha. We can only call the forefathers the three Avram Yitzchak Yaakov. Ein karen imais el l'arba. And you only call the imais the four. The imais is referring to the four imais, right? Avos my timer. Why avos ilam mishum delayadina nimiruva kasina nimishim kasina? Meaning, if you can't call anybody else avos because you have no idea which shevet you're from, right? Yihi imais nami layadina nimiruva kasina nimilaya kasina. But imais we also don't know. Meaning, Avram Yitzchak Yaakov were father, son, so you know that you're coming from them, right? But once you start with the imais and the shvatim, so you have no idea. El adach chashivi Tvei lo chashivi. Up in for Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, they were considered chashuv. More than that, they were not. Tani Ida Chavanu Shachas Ein Kar Nosam Abba Pliny V'Im Plinis. You don't call them Abba Pliny Ima Plinis. That's a lashon of chashivas. For R Gamliel Hay Kar Nosam Abba Pliny V'Ima Plinis, but R Gamliel they did. Ma'isa listos. Was that's a steer. You just said not to, and then you said R Gamliel's you did. So Mishum de Chashivi. So Gemara answers no. R Gamliel's avodim were chashuv, so therefore they could get a more chashuv title. Okay. Amar Rabbi Elazar Ma'idich said Kein Avarecha B'Chai B'Shimcha Asa Kapai. What's the meaning of this pasuk? Kein Avarecha B'Chai, I will bench you in my lives. The krias Shema, that's referring to krias Shema. Shimcha Asa Kapai, in your name I will lift up my hands. Zu Tefillah, that's referring to Tefillah. Vim Isa Kein Olav HaKosav. And if you do this, meaning Shema and daven, the pasuk says on you, K'may Chelav Edeshin Tisba Nafshi. It's like Chelav and Deshin, my soul will be satisfied. And you will get two worlds. If you daven, if you say krias Shema, you daven, you'll get two worlds. Right? There's a double lashon there, so it's referring to both worlds. Fine. Now this goes. Now we say a bunch of different tefillas. Some will be familiar of what different Tanaim said. Rabbi Elazar busted the Messiah to Luce. Rabbi Elazar said after he finished davening, Omar Hachi, he said, that it should be dwelling in our, like Purenu is in our chelek. We should have many talmidim. We should have everything. We should have hope. And we should have a Yetzer Tov and a Chaver Tov and Ashkem and Insa Yachal Avenu Liyira Shemecha V'Tavi L'Fenecha Karas Nafshenu L'Tova. All that we daven for should come to you for good. Okay, that was his tefillah that he said after davening. Rabbi Yochanan Basan the Messiah Tzlosei. Rabbi Yochanan after he finished his davening, Tzlosei means davening. Amar Hachi. Yiratzam L'Fenecha Shem L'Kenesh Tatzitz B'Bushteinu V'Tabet B'Rosenu. You shouldn't that you should look at our busha and look at our bed with the slavish berachamecha, and you should wear your how do you call it, rachamecha, your pity. And you should cover up your anger and wear your chasidus. And you should have, basically he's saying, have pity on us and don't show anger at us. So Reb Zera, after he finished davening, Omar Hachi, that we shouldn't do a chet and we shouldn't be embarrassed from our fathers. Reb Chia Basel the Matzli, Reb Chia after he davened, Omar Hachi, that Torah should be our work. We shouldn't be scared and we shouldn't have, our eyes shouldn't be darkened. What? Dim, yeah. Rav Basar Tzaloi say, Rav after he davened Amar Hachi Yiratzam V'Fanach Hashem L'Kesh Shetitolenu Chaim Aruchim. I hope everybody recognizes this. You should give us Chaim Aruchim, Chaim Shal Shalom, Chaim Shal Toiva, Chaim Shal Bracha, Chaim Shal Parnasa, Chaim Shal Chil Tzasamis, Chaim Sheish Ben Yiras Chet, Chaim Shein Ben Busha Chlima, Chaim Shal Oisha V'Chavod, Chaim Sheitavanu Abbas.
You gotta sing it in the Kol Mekadosh.
Yeah, this is the niggin of the day, by the way, I guess. If you sing it.
Yeah.
If you're Litvish, you don't sing it, so it doesn't count.
Sing it in the Kol Mekadosh.
I think it's only proper if you just sing it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Chaim Shetimalilam is Kol Mashal Zibenu L'Tayva. That's pretty much word for word, our Girsa. Yeah? Fine. Rabbi Basar Tzloisei Amar Hachi Yiratzam V'Fanach Hashem L'Kenem V'Kei V'Sesh Tzatzilenu Me'azei Panu Me'azes Panu.
Who said this? Rabbi Chia possible?
Who? Rabbi Chia was the one that said Arish Chodesh, but no, Rav.
So that's where the thing in the Sfard is a mistake. It feels Rav.
Okay, all right.
Right?
Rabbi, yeah, Basar Tzloisei, Rabbi after you daven Amar Hachi Yiratzam V'Fanach Hashem L'Kenem V'Kei V'Sesh Tzatzilenu Me'azei Panu Me'azes Panu. We should be saved from chutzpah, me'adam ra, mi'pega from bad people and any bad happenings, mi'yetzer ra, mi'chavar ra, mi'shachin ra, mi'satan ha'mashis, mi'din kasha, mi'bal din kasha, bentchu ben bris, bentchu ene ben bris. So this last part, he says we should be saved from a bal din kasha, whether he's Jewish, whether he's not Jewish. And even though there were Goyish guards standing over Rebbe to protect him, because he was very close to Aninus. That's what Rashi says. The Gemara of Zara. He was very close to Aninus. Even though he had Goyim protecting him, he still put in this tefillah. Okay, relatively easy daf
This
today.
is right. This is fine.
Tomorrow we continue with another half hour of these tefillas. All right?
I Shiloh just came up this Thursday.
Yeah.
If a guy in the psych ward asked me for a Bible.
Uh-huh.
What?
He asked you for a Bible?
Yeah, I let her bring him a Bible.
It's funny. Somebody asked this to me today. Not the same question. Somebody asked me this furniture, and they came in and they wanted a Bible. You know that all the furniture has Bibles. So he came in and asked if he can give the guy a Bible.
You have to clear it with the social worker.
I don't see
Why not?
It has to be cleared with the social worker because it can be turned into a weapon.
Somebody's talking. Who's talking?
That's Jesse's. That's Jesse.
That what? It has to be clear. That what?
It has to be cleared with the social worker because it can be turned into a weapon.
Oh, okay. I just put it in the documentation that I'm not the social worker. I'm just the.
But I understand. So you think that what the guy's not going to do avodah zarah just because you hand him a Bible?
No, and it's not me.
First of the Old Testament. What's wrong with the Old Testament?
It wasn't the Old Testament. They want the New Testament.
Naftali, you in the Old Testament.
I love the Old Testament. I love the Old Testament.
Is that
Sure
so?
you do.
I'm sure the Old Testament is very happy to